Hello and welcome to my channel Distinctive Crochet. My name is Priscilla and today we're going to be making this beautiful web of chains top down crochet crop top. It can also be used as a swimsuit cover up. So today I just want to pop on really quick and show you guys the breakdown of the tutorial before we get started. So pretty much we're just going to be working this first round together, and then I'll show you guys where to put your stitch markers so that you can easily find where you're going to be putting your raglan shaping. So we'll be putting treble crochets for that part, and then all we're doing from there is just increasing every round with our chains in between. And I'll have a size chart for you guys with a breakdown on that, so you just need to find your size on the chart and then you'll be good to go. The only thing after that is I'll just come back on and show you guys how to join for the sleeves on this. And it's really easy, guys, so no worries there. But that's pretty much it for the tutorial on this top here. But I did want to mention a little bit about gauge. So with this yarn, I'm using the Red Heart yarn. I had gotten 3 chains per inch, as well as one row of this was about 1 inch long. So if you needed to make adjustments, it's pretty easy in that way. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that a channel, Anna from Anna's Crafty Amore, has shared a tip with me, and she was saying that you could go ahead and dress this up with some more fancier yarns, like if it had you know, little beads or sequins on it, or sparkles, or just any fancy kind of yarns like that. Also, another young lady had mentioned that she had that in mind to do already, and I didn't get permission to mention her name, but you know who you are, and thank you so much for that great tip. Thank you to both of you ladies for that tip. And I went ahead and made one with the fancier yarn, but I did want to mention, guys, depending on the yarn that you use, it could end up a little bit more drapier, as mine did. So this is how mine turned out, and as you can see, it's quite a bit more drapey compared to this one here. It does look a little bit different on, but you could always either go ahead and go down a size on the size chart when you're using this if you're using a more drapier yarn, or you could just maybe go down a hook size. But depending on all that, you will probably just need to go ahead and keep trying it on as you go and just making sure it's coming out how you would like it to be. But other than that, guys, I think those were really great tips and suggestions. So go ahead and get creative with the yarns that you use, the colors, the textures. It will all be beautiful with this pattern. It's so simple and easy and quick to make. A seasoned crocheter could probably do it in under an hour. If you're a beginner, you could probably do it under 2 hours. So there's plenty of time to go ahead and get creative and try all those different colors and textures. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into the materials, and then we'll go right into the tutorial. All right, thanks for hanging in with me, guys. I hope you enjoy it. For this tutorial, you will need number 4 worsted weight yarn, a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, at least 4 stitch markers, a yarn needle, as well as the 6mm hook. Okay, guys, so this is the size chart here that I just want to explain a little bit about. So I do have 2 charts, so if you don't see your size here, it's probably on the next chart. But so at the top you'll find your bust measurement, and then it says round, and then you'll go up to the rounds that have numbers in them. And if you don't have any more numbers, then that was your last round. You can go ahead and fasten off and continue on with the tutorial. But for each size, you'll notice that it says sleeves and front and back. So the sleeves are the numbers that you will chain for your sleeves. So it starts off with a partial sleeve. Even though it's a partial sleeve, you're still going to go ahead and chain the amount. So if you look at the first side, if you look at the size here, it says 48 to 50 inch. So it says sleeves is 10 chains. Okay, so you will go ahead and chain up those 10 for that part, and then when you go around you'll go around to the front, then you'll go to the next part of the sleeve. You will chain 10 for that part. You will do a single crochet and you will chain another 10. So anytime you're coming up on the sleeve, you will always chain the full amount that it says on the chart. Okay, and the same thing for the front and the back. I've already done the math for you and figured it out. You might notice there's a even rate in which they increase. Some are 4, some are 3, and so on. But I went ahead and wrote everything out for you. So all you have to do is look at the size chart, chain the appropriate amount for either the sleeve or the front or the back, and just follow along with the tutorial, and that's pretty much it. So that's how you use the size chart. So go ahead and pause your video, find your size, and write those numbers down so that you can go ahead and work that out. Or you could just watch the tutorial all the way through, get comfortable with how you need to work the pattern, and then go back and pause your video on your size chart, and that way you won't have to write it out. You could just have it paused there and look right at the chart. All right guys, so let's get into this tutorial. All right guys, so I just want to come on and show you my gauge a little bit here. So I should get 3 chains per inch. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Yep, there's 1, 2, and 3. And for my treble cluster, it should be 1 inch long. So this way. And I'm just going to bring it up a little bit closer to you guys so you can see a little bit better. So as you can see, right here is where the V starts for the first chain. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So that's 3 chains per inch. And as long as you're getting that gauge with the yarn that you're using, you should be good to go with the measurements that I've given you. But if you do want to change your yarn and you're not getting gauge, you may have to change your hook size to try to get it. If that doesn't work, you might just have to add in chains or take some away. This is a really easy adjustable pattern, guys, so just pretty much try it on as you go and make sure it fits the way that you like. Alright guys, so to get started with this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and work the first round with you guys. So we'll make some chains and we'll place our stitch markers, and then after that I'll go ahead and show you guys the first round and the steps you need to do for that. And then I'll go ahead and work mine off camera, and all you need to do is refer to the size chart to put in the correct amount of change for your size, and it's pretty easy from there, guys. Then I'll just come back on and show you guys how to split for the sleeves. Alright, so let's get started with our slip knot. And then we're just going to chain up 8. And this is for all sizes, guys. So the first step for everyone is to go ahead and chain up 8, and then we're going to put our stitch marker in right there on that 8th stitch. So make your slip knot and let's go ahead and chain up 8. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I like to turn mine to the back and place my stitch marker in the back bump. So here's the front, and then here's the back bumps. So I'm just going to grab my stitch marker and then I'll place it right through that back bump on that 8th stitch. Now remember, the one on your hook does not count as a stitch, so that top one is your 8th stitch. So now we're going to go ahead and continue chaining, and from this 8th stitch we're going to count up to 29, and then we will place our next marker at stitch 29. So here's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. So now I'm going to flip mine to the back and go through that back bump with my stitch marker. I'm just using paper clips, but you can use whatever stitch marker you like. So now we're going to go up to stitch 44. So that's 29, there's 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and 44. All right, so put your next stitch marker there. And from this stitch number 44, we're going to go ahead and count up to stitch number 65. So I've got my marker in now, and we're going to go ahead and count up to stitch 65. So there's 44, so here's 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Let me get some more yarn. 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Okay, so we're going to place our last stitch marker here. And now we're going to keep counting until we get to 72. And then we'll slip stitch to join. So that's 65. So here's 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, and 72. So now is a very important part. You want to make sure that when you slip stitch to join, you are not twisting your chain. So for me, I have my markers on the back bumps. So I'm going to make sure that that is on the outside of my work when I slip stitch to join. If you've done yours a different way, just make sure that you don't have it twisted when you slip stitch to join. Otherwise, you are going to have to take it apart and do it again. So take your time when you're doing this part, guys, and make sure it doesn't twist. So I'm just checking in on mine, making sure all the back bumps are on the outside. And I'll slip stitch to join in the very first back bump of the chain. Oops. Okay, right through there. And I'm just putting in the slip stitch to join them together. I just like to work in the back bumps because it gives me a nice clear place to put my stitches, and it leaves a nice clean edge on the other side. If you're not comfortable with that, then just go ahead and make your chain how you normally would. But the important thing is you want to make sure that it's not twisted. So take your time when you're doing this part, guys. All right, guys, so for this part where we joined at is actually in the middle of our sleeve area. So we're cutting right in between our sleeves. So you work half of the first sleeve, then you work to the front. So we need to check our size chart to see how many you need to chain for your sleeve, and go ahead and chain up that amount, and I'll chain the size that I need for the first part of my sleeve. Okay, so the next part we're doing here is we're going to do a treble crochet cluster right into our first stitch marker. So you're just going to put 3 trebles right into there. So you just need to yarn over twice for your trebles, and then you'll yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And you're going to do that 2 more times right into that same stitch. Okay, and right after this, we're working the front section of our top. So you need to go ahead and check your size chart to chain up the correct amount for the front section. Okay, so once you have your front section chained, you want to find your next stitch marker, making sure you're not twisting your work,
It can still get twisted, guys. Be very careful when you're putting in your trebles and making sure you're not twisting it. So I'm on to my next stitch marker, so I'm going to go ahead and put 3 trebles right into that stitch marker. So I need 2 more right in that same space. So I just yarn over twice, insert my hook, yarn over and pull through 2 3 times. That's the treble stitch. So now we're back onto the sleeve section. So you need to work the first portion of the sleeve again, and this should be the same amount that you did when we first started. So now we're going to be finding the middle part of our sleeve. So we need to count over 7 chains. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So right into here, we're going to put a single crochet. And where we put our single crochets, those are the middle parts of our sleeve. So we're just putting a single crochet there. And now we'll chain the same amount for the other side of our sleeve that we just chained. Okay, so now we need to find our next stitch marker, and now we're going to go ahead and work 3 treble stitches right into that same space that our stitch marker is in. And once we get this in, we'll be on to the back side of our work. So we'll need to go ahead and find the chains that we work for the front. And that is the same amount that you need to do for the back side. Okay, so now that you have your chains, you're going to come right into this last stitch marker here for the round, and you're going to go ahead and place 3 trebles right into that same stitch. And now we're going to work the last portion of the first sleeve that we were working. So we're going to go ahead and chain that amount for the sleeve. And now we just need to go ahead and work a single crochet right into where we first started, where we slip stitched to join at the very beginning of the round. So we're just going to go ahead and work a single crochet there, and that will end our round. So let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the front here, this is the back, and here is where the sleeves are, but your arms will be coming out this section here. So all we're going to be doing is just keep going in the round, and we'll be working the chain increases in between our cluster of trebles. So, and right when you get to the cluster, you want to work 3 right into that middle stitch there. So that stitch will get 3 trebles for each round. All right, then you're going to go and work your chain for the front section on the next round. You'll put your 3 trebles, you'll do the next section for your sleeve, and then you'll put your single crochet. You'll do the same chain for the next portion of the sleeve. You'll do your 3 into that treble stitch. You'll chain for your back. You'll put 3 right into this next treble stitch here, and then you'll put your chain for your sleeve and single crochet. And then you'll start on the next round all over again. So you do want to be aware of the end of your round. So I have this tail here, and that will tell me that is the start of my round. But sometimes it can get lost, guys, and we don't really need these stitch markers here anymore. So you can go ahead and take one of these stitch markers off and place it at the beginning of your round, or you could just grab another stitch marker and place it right there, and then that will remind you that that is the start of your round. So you need to make sure you're going up to the next a number of chains so that you'll be increasing your chains in between these treble clusters. So that's pretty much it for the tutorial, guys. You just need to go ahead and check your size chart and work your rounds until you get it long enough, and then I will meet you back to show you how to split for the sleeves and join them together. So just keep going in the round following that same instruction, and then I'll do mine off camera and I will meet you back. Okay, so I made it back, and this is what I have so far. This is all the rounds up to where I need for my sleeves. So if you've made it down all the way to your size, then go ahead and give it a try on and make sure it fits. What you want to focus on is you want to make sure these section here, when you pinch them together under your arm, it feels comfortable and it reaches. If it doesn't reach to go under your arm, you're probably going to need to make another round and just add the amount of stitches that you need for your size to make another increase round. But if it does reach under your arm, but it doesn't close comfortably under your arm, then all you're going to have to do is make some chains to go across this way, and then it should fit just fine. But about between 5 or 10 chains should be good enough. But first I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn and just fasten off. Alright, so now we're just going to join our yarn right here at the clusters of the trebles. So if you didn't have any problems with the fit and it closes right under your arms, then all you're going to do is just go ahead and slip stitch this closed. So join your yarn, and then once you have that joined, you're just going to slip stitch to close in the same in the first treble crochet from the other side, and then you just slip stitch to close. So then you go right into the next treble and then right into the other one on the opposite side and slip stitch to close. And then you're going to go in the very last treble crochet and the one on the other side, and then you'll slip stitch them to close. So that will give you a nice close fit. So if you didn't have any problems with that, then that is how you will close yours up. And this is what it looks like here. So you would just cut off your yarn there and then do the same thing on the other side. So you just do the same thing to slip stitch it close on the other side. But I'm going to show you guys how to also use the chain to close it up if you needed a little bit more extra room under your arm. So once you have it slip stitched on there, all you need to do is chain up 5. If you find you need more, then go ahead and chain more, but I'm just going to start off with 5. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm just going to find the first treble on the other side, and then I'll just go ahead and slip stitch right through there. And now I'm going to chain 5 to go back to the other side, and then I'll slip stitch to close on the other side in that middle treble stitch. And now I'm going to chain up 5 again, and I'm going to go to the middle stitch on this side, and I'm going to chain 5, and then I'll slip stitch to join on the last treble crochet, So this is what it looks like here. And before you finish off, go ahead and try it on and make sure you have enough arm space for you. So here is what the sleeve looks like. So you're just going to put your arm through there and make sure it fits comfortably underneath your arm. If it is, go ahead and do it on the same side. If it's not, then just take it out and add a few more chains. But however many on this side you do, make sure you go ahead and put the same amount on this side or the other side. So once you have it done, it's finished. All you have to do is weave in your ends, and now you have your beautiful web of chains top down crochet crop top or beach cover up. So this could add a lot of style and fashion to a simple top or a little coverage for a bathing suit. And don't forget, guys, you can also change up that yarn and make it even more fancier. Get really creative and have fun. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'll show you a picture of what it looks like one more time. And thanks again for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, guys.